Hey guys, today I'd like to show you how you can simply renew your bathtub and paint it white, make it look like shiny and brand new in less than an hour. Usually 30 to 40 minutes is enough. So I started with this bathroom that you can see it has some paint issue at the bottom in the middle. So the first thing that you can do is to buy one pack of bathtub spray. Home Depot has that. Any other store that they have house department and different sections for cleaning, they have that as well. You just need one of these sprays, and what you're gonna do is first you have to have mask. You have to use these gloves which is in the package. You have to scrub the bathtub first to make it clean. I mean, personally, I prefer to use bleach as well to clean it a little bit more, make it shiny first before you start doing anything. Even before you start putting tape around these areas, before that, you better clean the entire area and then let it dry a little bit. And then the last part is that you can just simply start the painting with one spray. You don't need to pay someone to do that. You don't need to be expert. You don't need to have any experience. You can simply do that. So I'm going to show you how we can do that. The first step that we have to do is to just get rid of all the personal things, all extra parts, even little parts, everything, you have to remove them. So you'll have your surface to be ready for cleaning. Okay, the next step is to start cleaning all the areas and surroundings, all the area that you want to have a new paint there. So it should be 100% clean, no germs, no stains, nothing, so the paint can stay on top of it, because if there's a germ, then there's a layer on top of it, so you cannot have the paint properly. So first thing that you have to do, you just have to wash the entire area, the bathtub area. So you can skip this part, but I start with the bleach. Doesn't matter which brand or what. You can simply start with the bleach and clean the area, the entire area, and start scrubbing it. And the reason that I chose bleach is because of its acid and because it's stronger. So I'm gonna start with this, then I'm gonna go with the cleaning kit that comes with the paint. Okay, the next step that you gotta do is to just leave it there for a few minutes, because it's bleach. You have to let it work, do the job, and then you just have to wash it. Just remember one important thing. If you have any breathing issue, if you have asthma, if you have any sort of these, and or if you cannot have AC on, if you cannot get a clear air, do not use the bleach, okay, in closed space. It's so risky, do not use that. While I'm waiting for this to go dry, I can simply just use a paper towel. You don't have to have anything special. Just after you rinse it, after you clean it, after you use the cleaning kit that comes with the paint, after that, to make sure that it's 100% dry, you have to clean it out. So we wait like 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we are gonna wash it out. And as you can see, the water goes a little bit dark because it's getting all the dirt and all the germs from the surface. So when you buy this kit, just FYI, it comes with a little handbook, which is explaining you what you should do with each part of that. And step by step, it tells you have to clean, you have to paint, you have to recover. So, and it's with 2 languages, Spanish and English. So what you gotta do is simply follow the steps that they're showing you here. Cleaning with what they suggest is to just clean with their pad. So, like scrub with what they're offering, but you can also have anything, wash it with anything that you want. If you want it like extra clean or double extra clean, you can add whatever you want, like what I'm doing with the bleach. And then all you gotta do is to just follow the steps, which I'm gonna show you what is next now. Now, I guess it's enough for setting the bleach here. Now we just have to rinse it. You can rinse it with hot water or cold water, doesn't matter, but hot water is better. Make sure you rinse all the areas that you added the bleach, because you don't want to have some layers of like bleach or any cleaning liquid stay there. You want to make sure that it's 100% clean and washed, because you want to have to wash it again with another cleaner right after this. If you have these installed there, you better wash this and paint this to totally match with the new paint. Just rinse everything thoroughly. Okay. You shut the water. Now we're good for the next step. So what this kit is offering is they're offering that we rinse the bathtub before we add any paint or before dry it. They're suggesting that we use their cleaning kit as well. So we are going to use the same. With the package, it comes 2 gloves that you have to use because of the chemicals. And then these tools that come so you can scrub the bathtub. And also the cleaning kit, the main thing that you can clean it. It's just a powder, you just have to throw it around, add some water, and then start scrubbing it, which I'll show you right now. Okay, I use the gloves that they're offering. Even if they don't have, I can simply use the gloves that I have, whatever that I have. So maybe because of the chemicals in that cleaning kit, your skin gives some allergy, so be careful. You always have to use the gloves before you start it. And then I open these two. And since we already add the water here and it's not dry yet, we can simply just throw this powder around and then start scrubbing it. Okay. This one is kind of like the bleach as well, but this is what they're suggesting, which is matched with the paint. So we are going to use what they're suggesting to use before adding the new paint. It's good for preparation of the surface, so we are going to use as we are instructed. And then we add this side of bathtub as well. Okay, I use it all. Now all I gotta do is to just scrub around. With the same material that they provided. I mean, you can have your own if you need something smoother or something like harder than this surface. That's your choice. And remember, this step is not just for cleaning. This is a preparation for the paint as well. That's why they're suggesting doing it before painting. So we better follow up their steps. It basically clears all the germs, everything that's left there on the surface. So when you add the paint, it doesn't add to that layer. It already removed the layer. It's just the bathtub that you want to add the layer of paint. Do your best to cover all the areas that you're cleaning and not miss any spot. I mean, if you do, it's okay, but it's better to cover all the areas so you make sure that there's a thin layer of cleaning on all areas. If there's any skin from the old layer of the paint or from old paint, you better remove them. But if it's like this, just flat, and it's just a sign of like removal, it's okay. You can leave it there. So after you do these, then you have to read the instruction. to see what they're suggesting. So on step 3, it says add the cleaning thing here, the powder here, and then rinse with the water. And that's what we do. And this must be this will be the last step for cleaning. After that, we can start preparing for painting. You should rinse it like thoroughly, so you're sure that all areas, all cleaned areas are washed and they're ready for painting. Everywhere. Including all corners, everything, everywhere. Make sure you cover all the areas. It matters because you want to make sure that your paint is covered perfectly for all areas, not like on and off areas. So make sure you're washing every single area, on the corners and everything, on all edges. And if you can push the water, so all these dirts will go away. Because you want to have it as clean as possible, so your paint can stay way longer and look shinier as well. Double rinse again. Even on the package it says you have to rinse it again and again if it's necessary. So if you think it's not clean, wash it as many times as you want till you're 100% sure that it's washed and it's ready for the new paint. You don't want to miss any spot. Now it seems clean and clear to me. So now for me it's time to start shutting the water and start drying the area. Because everything seems clean and ready for paint. Okay. So cleaning the bathtub before you start the painting and also preparation is the main step. Because as soon as you start the painting, it takes like 1 or 2 minutes only, not longer. So now that you cleaned everything, now it's time for making it dry and make sure all areas are clean as planned and also they're dry. Okay, for this step, I'm gonna start using the paper towel that I told you before. That's the easiest way and cheapest way to just make sure everywhere is dry, the entire area, outside, all corners, everything, and also inside areas, all of them. So not to have any dripping here, it's better to clean a little bit like far from that line too. So when you dry this area, there is no like water leaking from the wall to there. So it won't mess with your job. In our next video, I'm going to show you how you can get rid of all these stains and all these like marks on the tiles and how you can make your tiles look like new. But first, Let's wrap this up. Plan to have at least like 2-3 rolls of these paper towels because you cannot wrap up everything with one, so you might need more. Just be ready for that so you don't have to stop in the middle of work and go by. Again, you have to make sure that all areas, all the top parts and all the corners and everywhere is dry. Because if not, when you're adding your paint, then you will mess with your paint. You will mix with the water, and that's not what you want to see at your work. You want to make sure it's 100% dry and clean. You're almost there. Half of this bathtub is almost dry. I'm just trying to double checking and make sure that everywhere is 100% dry. Because I don't want us to stop to start and then see somewhere is wet, then you have to stop the painting, and that's not what they suggest. Because when you start it to be one complete nice surface, it's better to do it at one time, not like little by little stop it. By even touching it with paper towel, if it doesn't stick, it means it's already dry. So you can say that this part of the towel is dry already. That's how you can check to see if your surface is ready or not. You're almost there. Okay, all these areas are dry and they're ready. All these areas as well, all dry and ready and clean. There is no stain, there is no mark, there is nothing on them. So at least you know that all this area is ready. And then just double checking here, the last part. Make sure everywhere is dry. These areas are a little bit tricky because there's still some waters there. But you have to make sure to get them as much as you can. Okay. can get the water from top too, so it doesn't drip later. What I'm trying to do is to just not to let any water stay here in case if I'm painting and it's gonna drop, then it will mess with our paint. And that's the least that we want. Okay, almost there. Here is dry. As you can see, it doesn't stick, so that's good. That's a good sign. Even if it's dry, everywhere is dry. That's how you can check your paper towel to make sure if your area is ready or not. These areas should be always covered inside and also outside, so the paint wouldn't go there and the pieces of the paint won't go through the pipe. Just be careful about that. Okay, double, triple checking everywhere. We are almost ready to start the paint. Make sure all corners are dry, as they should be, and make sure you don't leave the pieces of like paint or paper towel here as well. Just throw them out so your bathtub is clean and ready. Okay. Now as you see, your surface is clean. We cleaned with the bleach. We cleaned with the package that they already provided with the paint. And now we dried it out. Now we are ready to prepare the area for the painting. Prepare the area, you can either use little tapes, especially the blue tapes everybody use, the colorful tapes around, or you can cover with the like newspapers or something. That I'm gonna do that, so it covers a little bit more than just a thin line in case if the paint goes above. And because I don't have the blue tape, I can use this one, doesn't matter, whichever works for you. Okay, I'm gonna start adding the tape to the newspaper all the way around the bathtub before we start the painting. You have to make sure that it's on the line exactly, not over there, not like missing different areas. You don't wanna add paint to the metal areas, right? And also you don't wanna start from the middle, so you'll be missing some parts. So you should do it exactly on the line of the metal and line of the wall. We're gonna start with this area, little by little. Make sure you tape them on the right line, so you don't have to redo it and take them off and applying them again. You just want to make sure that the paint doesn't go from this line and above. That's it. From here doesn't matter. The areas that you cannot add like any newspaper or anything, you can simply just add the tape and just cover them. Like here. Let me show you, actually you can add the newspaper here as well. You don't need that part. All you gotta do is to just add them, apply them like this. And that's it, just let it be there. But to hold it, you need another tape on the top as well. That's why this surface should be dry. So if you want to add the tape here, you can simply do that. You're going to make sure that you're covering all the areas that are not supposed to be painting. Okay? All these areas. And we are going to start here, this corner. Remember, this is the last part that you have to prepare. After this, everything is like very quick and will be way easier. If you can, make sure you can cover all the framing areas as well, if it's possible. So we are trying to cover these as much as we can, the metal area, because there's no need to be painted there. We're going to cover the rest. From the bottom of tiles to all these newspapers, all the areas that needs to be cleaned, all these areas. Shouldn't be that accurate as long as it covers a little bit, that's fine. You just don't want the paint go randomly like on top, like what happened before here for whoever did the previous painting. All the way around, from here, there we go. We can use another one. Takes a little bit of time, but that's what you gotta do anyway. So you cannot just start painting, because then you're gonna mess with all your tiles and it don't look nice. So you gotta make sure if you do it at least by yourself, you do a clean job. Like for here, you have to keep it like that. I'm gonna add the tape. I'm gonna add the tape here. Here doesn't matter. We'll keep these guys here. Here. Okay, this corner is ready. Now we are gonna put the tape all the way around this guy, because we are gonna paint this so it will be matched with the main bathtub paint as well. The closer to this line you add, the nicer the paint will look like. Okay. You add the bottom part as well. Now this area is ready, so even if you start painting around, even if the paint goes in these areas, it's tape. You can simply remove it and it stays clean and neat. Okay. For this area, we start like this from the bottom part. There you go. Here, just I'm gonna add one tape there. Okay. The only area which is left is just there. I'm gonna do it and then we are good to go. We're good to start the paint. Okay. Make sure if you step in your food is clean, okay, and doesn't leave any stain. Any dirt, anything there, just make sure you don't want to mess with the paint that you just added. And make sure you're covering all these areas. Like this, there you go. Just have to be solid, that's it. It shouldn't be perfect, but as long as you're just covering all the area and the tiles, you're good. Now it's just there, and we're gonna cover those 3 areas and that's it. Okay. The last step is to just add these guys here. Just around there. There we go. So one more tape for there. Here. You can also cover there too. If you think you might mess with that area and this area, you can simply just cover these two areas as well, which is easy. I can show you now. Like you can simply just wrap it up like this. And then just tape around it. And just take it, and you're good. So for this area, since it's so small and you cannot wrap papers like that, you can simply just add the tape on top of it. One more. Make sure it's completely covered by your tape. Just a metal part. You don't have to cover everything. Just in the small one, and that's it. Okay. Now make sure that you have to cover that hole so the paint doesn't go through pipes. It's really important. Like you can put a paper just to like this and put it there if you can. And then tape it on top. Okay. Now you just gotta cover these areas. Perfect. Now all I gotta do is to just cover that corner a little bit, and that's it. And then we can start the paint. Just in small paper. Let me add it there. So we know that we are ready. Add it here. Add this guy here. That's it. Now all these areas are already cleaned. All these areas are already taped. So if your paint goes a little bit, since it's a spray, if it goes a little bit above, that's fine. You don't have to be worried about that. And again, make sure to cover that hole. Make sure to cover these guys. You can also cover that piece if you want. I can do that too if you want. I can show you. You can simply just do like this. And like that. It already holds it, so that's good. You don't need any paint. And I'm sure your paint doesn't go that much because you don't do it that way, you go down. So now your bathroom is ready. All these areas are already taped. Everything is taped, clean, ready. Now we can paint. At this level, since everything is ready and we want to start the painting, I would suggest to wear your gloves again. Before you start the painting, make sure that you have the AC on or you have some fresh air, and make sure you don't paint in a closed area. It's not good for breathing and it's not good for your health as well. So just as a reminder, when you order this package, when you buy either this brand or any similar brand, it comes with 2 spray. It comes with 2 spray in case the bathtub is like bigger or custom size, or if it needs lots of painting. Okay, but usually with one of them or even half of this, you can complete this. And the recovery time for this spray is 48 hours. So what I would do, I do the first coat here, and then I don't touch this bathroom. I mean, preferably if you can, don't use that bathroom for 48 hours, and then do the second coat. Then it will be super shiny and it will be perfect. And after second 48 hours, then you can start using it. But for now, and you also, just as a reminder, you can choose different colors in case if you need any like yellow, blue, I don't know what colors are in the market, but I chose white because it seems cleaner for this situation since I'm gonna clean the tiles after as well. But you can choose other colors, and it shows right here, and it shows on the package as well. Make sure you have the mask, make sure you have the gloves on, make sure you have the AC on or fresh air. And then if everything is set, everything is ready, all preparations are done, then you can start painting. And also make sure if you have a cover like a carpet like this, you have to move it up. In case if the paint is gonna drip or anything, at least you don't want to mess with the carpet or anything around. Okay, so when you want to start the paint, you don't want to like start like these, like random areas. Now you have to start with one side and finish on another side. Okay, and since after we paint, let's say this area, we cannot reach back, we want to start from the back, so when we are done here, we can simply just go out. Okay, we don't want to start here and be stuck there and we cannot just do anything. So I'm gonna start with the corner, that area, start from top like these, and then move and come all the way here and then finish it. So let's start. Before doing that, make sure that you're shaking your spray pretty well. You can do some little tests too, like with little spray, like somewhere, to make sure if your spray is locked or not. Sometimes they lock it, so you just have to twist it. Sometimes it's a safety thing. You can do a test spray, just a little bit, to make sure that how is the paint going. Is it smooth? Is it hard? Okay, I did my test, iron is good. Now I'm gonna start this part. You don't have to put too much, you just have to do it little by little. If you put too much, it starts dripping. If you do a little bit, you'll still see the stains. Just a little, just in the right amount. So do you see this paint around this? That's why we added the paint. So now it's not on the tile. When we remove this, it stays clean and nice. That's why we added all these new papers here as well. So let's start with the corner and start painting the main bathtub. The more you move forward, the more you have to, you cannot stay inside anymore. So make sure you shake it well while you're painting, because it matters a lot. You don't want it to miss a spot and then you have to redo it. As you can see, all these areas are going super wide. That's good. That's what we want. You can cover any areas that you think is missing. Go back there, add a little bit more. Not as much that starts dripping, but you can add a little bit more. Make sure when you spray, you do it like thoroughly, and also you do it evenly. Not too much for one area and then a little bit less for the other area. There should be almost the same amount that you're spraying for each area. There's just this little spot left. Make sure you spray them linear, not like randomly in different spots, because then you lose the track. You don't know which areas you added more or less. Just a few more spots here, and then we'll be done. I just want to overdo this a little bit more to make sure it's 100% perfect. You don't need to do it, but in case if you want to make sure that you covered all the areas, you can do that. It's kind of like double checking, like second coat at the same time. When you're done with the paint, all you gotta do is to just, like, by your eyes, just check to see if there's any little missed spot. But if there is nothing, then even if there are some missed spot, and you're, let's say, out of these, which we already have 2 of them, but you can leave it this one, the first set, to dry, and then you can cover this missed spot for second coat. But now I'm gonna just double check to see if there's anything left. I believe everything is covered here. So we are good for now. We are gonna leave this for the first 48 hours. We don't touch this. We can just leave it as is, or we can remove them. Or if you're sure that you're not gonna use this, then you can simply leave them there. Because for second coat, you have to do everything again. So this is the first set. As we can see from the first seconds of the video, there were some like paint issues here, and the bathtub was super dirty. It wasn't good, nice, like a brand new bathtub. And again, these areas that you see, they're all taped, so they're not on your tile, so it's clean. So here it is. Without hiring someone, with only $10, $15 or $20 buying that package, you can simply paint it for yourself. All you gotta do is to spend like an hour, and then you can renew your bathroom. On next video, I'm going to show you how to clean these guys and make them look like new with keeping the lines here.